Well, today I'm talking to Rachel Roberts, and it's a great pleasure to welcome Rachel back because in 2019, Rachel gave two presentations at our conference, and one was about mindfulness for ELT teachers and the other one was about avoiding burnout. And they were both very, very well received, and teachers were really, really interested in what Rachel had to say. And Rachel, your special interest, or one of your special interests, I think, is in teachers' well-being, isn't it? And so I was wondering just what, in your sort of practice and what you've seen, how are things going with teachers in reaction to sort of lockdowns and pandemics and so on? How do you think teachers' well-being has suffered?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, it has suffered. Probably, it was already sometimes a little bit stretched, shall we say. And, I think obviously there's a lot more uncertainty, there's a lot more insecurity, job insecurity, people really not knowing kind of what's going to happen next. And, essentially we just we don't deal very well, I think, as humans with that kind of thing. And then, of course, they're teachers, so therefore they're also worrying about their students' well-being. So that's like another kind of layer.
It's another level.
And then there's their families, so a lot of teachers, they've got their kids at home, and so they're kind of trying to help them learn at the same time. So it's a bit of a perfect storm, I think.
And so your presentation in this conference is going to be looking at how to deal with uncertainty. And I was thinking back to your presentation on mindfulness, and I was thinking, well, perhaps mindfulness is one of the things you might be sort of going to suggest as a way to help us. But what are the other things that we can look forward to hearing about?
Well, certainly mindfulness is going to come up because I think that is a key tool. But I guess, when we're stressed, when we're stressed and anxious, we tend to be much more reactive, So there's a part of our brain, the amygdala, which is like the fight-flight part. And that tends to sort of take over at times like this. And so a lot of what I'm going to be talking about really is ways that, including mindfulness, that we can kind of get that part to calm down, so that, we can manage those feelings.
Fantastic. And I've been asking other presenters as well about what positives you think might come out of this period, because I guess we don't want to be all negative. We know that it's challenging, we know it's difficult, but it does seem that people have ideas about some positive things that will come out of this period, or are already sort of coming out of what we're experiencing. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, I mean, I think, and I'm seeing this a lot with coaching clients that I'm working with at the moment, that basically this kind of event, while we wouldn't wish for it, obviously, but it can act as a kind of wake-up call to us, and we can kind of start to think about the way we were living our lives and whether that's actually how we want to live our lives going forward, and so I can see positive things coming out of it for people.
And maybe we've surprised ourselves with how adaptable we can be when necessary as well. I think a lot of teachers adapting to online classes and so on with, in the flick of a finger has really surprised them, I think. So, yeah.
Well, it's like when we had the Black Death in the 1300s, obviously that was pretty awful, but it did end the feudal system and slavery. Because there weren't enough peasants for people to be able to mess them about so much.
Looking for the positive.
Yes. Indeed.
Well, thanks a lot, Rachel. Lovely to talk to you, and really looking forward to your presentation, which is on Friday, the 26th of February, 10 o'clock. And if you're interested, please click on the links with this video and sign up for Rachel's presentation. We look forward to speaking to you on Friday. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks.
Bye.